Welcome back to your girl channel. Welcome back to your girl channel. This is your girl Shell. And Shaq is somewhere not around, so welcome back. Today, as you guys read the description, it's gonna be a 1-year update of my cancer story. So I'm going to give you guys where I'm at with my cancer, if it had came back, the medication I'm taking, the treatment I have took, and how it is to live life after cancer, with cancer, a year later. So stay tuned, you guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. I enjoy you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. To everybody that had touch with my cancer story, for all the people that reach out to me, letting me know how my video had helped them, was able to go and seek help and get their self taken care of. And to everybody that ever supported me with this YouTube channel, I want to say thank you guys so much. It's been a blessing. I love doing YouTube. So go ahead and share this video, tell all your friends about this video, and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, you guys, so it's been, I will say, first week in November of last year. I went on a vacation in New Orleans in October. I went on vacation to New Orleans in October, and it was a beautiful weekend. I had a ball. I knew I did the biopsy, or I knew I had biopsy schedule, but I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't scared. I was one of those who would be like, I don't think cancer will affect me. I don't think I will be one of those that would get diagnosed with cancer. The doctor would tell me the likelihood of you having thyroid cancer is like 1 out of every so many thousands of female that are diagnosed with thyroid problem. It's a small percentage that will be cancer. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be in that. I'm not gonna be in that 5% that is not going to be cancer. So I was like, I'll be fine. So I went on this beautiful vacation. It was amazing. And when I got back that Monday, I went to do my biopsy. And the following weekend was, I think, was the second week in November of last year, was when I got the call. Yeah, that's when I got the call. And it was devastating. It was, when I got the call, when my doctor called me that morning, it was early Monday morning when I got the call. And when she called me, I knew something was wrong. So the minute she called me and she was telling me, she called me concerning my test result, I kind of knew, but kind of wasn't sort of sure that that's what it was going to be. I would say I would be one of those that is not going to affect me like that. So I was like, it's not going to affect me. And I could still look back at that moment in my life when she said, your biopsy came back and it's cancer. I have never felt my body. The last time I felt like that was when my sister passed away. I've never felt that devastating before. Like it crushed me. And I called my sister. I didn't call my mom. I didn't want her to know. I called my sister. I called my cousin. I called my friend. And immediately they were all at my house. That same day, they were all in my house, in my living room, sitting there with me. And I was like, wow, this is my story. This is now my post-op. This is 1 year later, and I was just running you guys down for people who haven't seen my cancer story video. I was just trying to catch you guys up with everything that's been going on. So after I went back to work in April, I was on vacation in Belize, and I did follow up. I have to do a lot of follow-up. Went to Belize in April, and they called me right before I went to Belize. I did some blood works, and they called me while I was in Belize. I'm like, why is Anderson calling me while I'm on vacation? And then she said, I need to speak to you. I said, I'm in the country. And she's like, it's important, we need to speak to you. I'm like, okay. And she said your test result that you took last week showed there was some still sign of cancer. I'm like, oh my God, not again. Like, fuck cancer. Like, go about your damn business. Like, so that ruined my whole entire trip. I tried my best to have fun. I didn't let everybody know what was going on, but she said it probably be, you know, just something still lingering. And when I get back, she put me on a no iron diet while I was in Belize, which is you cannot eat anything that have iron. And you know, in Belize, everything we eat have iron. Baby fish. I told her, I said, can I start this when I get back home? Can I just enjoy a few more days I have left here? Can I start? She's like, no, you got to do it immediately. And when I tell you, I tried this iron thing and I couldn't do it. I tried it with everything in me. And there's everything in Belize is iron. And Belize doesn't have a vast majority of things like here in America where you could go and, you know, go to a place that have low iron stuff and order stuff and like, or buy different stuff that is low in iron. It's very hard in Belize, you know. We don't have that type of luxury, okay? So it was hard. So I was like, I just pray and I let it go. And I said, God, when I get back home, I'm going to deal with it. And when I got back, it so happened that she called me and said, we have to push your appointment back a little further. And I'm like, thank you, because I didn't start the iron diet. It was hard. I couldn't find anything that doesn't have iron in Belize. And everything had iron. Everything that I eat had iron. It was hard for me. I couldn't do it. She's like, okay, start today. So I started it. I tried my best. I think I tried, you know, the best as I could. And I went in because why they wanted me to be on a low iron or no iron diet, low to no iron, was because they was going to have me take iodine, you know, iodine and iron, and then they was going to do this whole MRI stuff and CAT scan or something where they was going to see. So the iodine, when they give me that medicine, is supposed to glows or attract whatever iron is left. So if I reduce iron in my body, the only iron that's supposed to be there is the one from the cancer. So when I reduce my iron in my body, meaning I was supposed to have no iron in my body, and they give me that medication to take, and when I take the iodine medication, the iodine sticks on the part that have cancer that is still remaining, so they could see on this machine where the cancer is at. That's the best way I could explain it. That's what they explained it to me. That I'm not professional, so don't come for me, okay? That's what they told me. Yeah, they say sticks there, and then they see, and then they know where it's at, and all right. So I went in there again. I went in for an, after I came back from Belize in April. It was in April, May. I went in to do early May. Yeah, early May I went in to take the iodine treatment so they could do radiation. If they see any form of cancer still glowing in there, they're going to give me radiation, which is not as drastic as chemotherapy. Chemo is, you know, really drastic. Radiation is not that as drastic, but it kills any cancer that is still out there for, like, you know. So she said I won't have to do chemo, but I will have to do radiation. And the radiation is like one pill. I won't have to take like 2 doses, 3 doses. I just needed 1 dose because it was like some small particle of cancer still hanging out around. I don't know. I guess it was trying to escape and getting into my nodules, but they didn't quite get there. So we did that. We went through that process. And all through this process, I'm still going to work. I'm working 10 hours at night. I go 6 in the morning, in the evening till 5 in the morning. I work 10-hour shift. And I felt my body just was never normal again. I never was able to feel normal. So for anybody who's seen this video or who been through thyroid cancer, you could comment and share me your experience. Let me know what is your experience, because some people I spoke to a lot of people that been through it, that we talk, and they don't have any problems. Their body is normal. They go back to life, living life normally. I don't know if theirs is different from the one I had. I don't know. But for some reason, my body was never able to be normal. I feel normal, but my body was not able to be normal. And I had to go to the hospital. I would have to leave my job, go to the emergency room, leave my job, go to arm care for them to, my weight gain became rapidly. So you guys see me fat, don't come for me. It's not because, you know, I've always been skinny, I've been bone skinny, but because I don't have my thyroid no more, I'm suffering from rapid weight gain, and my appetite is so, oh, I want to eat right now. But my weight gain had increased drastically since my last appointment. I gained 20 pounds. Like, I'm just going up, up, up. But I don't want to jump ahead. So after the surgery, they put me on a medication, Synthroid. I got to take that every day. It's a small, tiny little pill, so I don't care. I know I gotta take it for the rest of my life. It doesn't bother me. It's so small, like you're swallowing a vitamin pills, and I take it like it's vitamins. Or like, you know, when you're on birth control and you gotta take birth control. People take birth control for years, every day. So it's one of those small little pills that you take. I'm okay with that. And then after, you know, I start working, going back to work, feel like I was going back normal. My life is getting back normal. Boom. I was at work one day and I felt like I was going to pass out. Like, I got dizzy. My heart was racing. My chest, you know, everything was like beating fast. I'm like, they rushed me down to Amcare. They called the ambulance. My sister came and they took me to the emergency room. And when I got to the emergency room, but before that, right before that, I did some blood works because I was going to do eye surgery. Because you guys know I was born with my laser eye, and the thyroid started to affect my muscle in my eye. I didn't know that was stemming from the thyroid. I already had it, but it was getting worse. I'm like, I'm born with it, it should just remain that way. But because of the thyroid, it started to affect my eyes and my muscle in my eyes. So my muscle was starting to get weak. And so the doctor said they could fix it because it was making my vision really, you know, I was seeing like vision. This is how I was looking at stuff. The eye that is open, this is the one that was normal. This is the one that they did surgery on. This one was hair, and this one I was seeing things on this level. So I was seeing stuff like this. So literally this eye was looking on top of this eye. So the doctor medically, they had to, you know, go in and fix that. But I did some blood works for that to make sure everything was okay, because she knew my history with the thyroid cancer. And after she did that, she called me and she's like, Miss Peace, I need you to start drinking 3 calcium pills a day because your calcium is severely low. Remember now, the doctor told me that she was able to save my parathyroid that produced calcium, and that I didn't need to really be on any calcium medication or anything calcium, because that is, you know. So I was like, okay. I started to get worried a little bit, but not too much. But I was worried, like, she told me that I've never had a problem with my calcium being low, and it was severely low. When I tell you it was so low, it was low. I would sleep and wake up to all my knuckles are sore, like everything was hurting, like, and I'm like, what is going on? So my knuckles, it was getting sore, my bones was aching me, working 10 hours a night. It was putting a toll on my body. And then the rapid weight gain, I was like, is it because I'm gaining all this weight? And then my blood pressure, I've never wanted to have high blood pressure, and then I started having high blood pressure, and the doctor was like, it's because of the weight gain, the rapid weight gain, you're starting to have high blood pressure. And he was like, you know, it's just keep going up and up, problems just keep coming in. And I'm like, what is going on? So they fast forward now to where they had to rush me to the hospital. So when I got to the emergency room, my heart was beating fast, my chest was hurting me, my blood pressure was 180 over something. It was crazy. So the doctor came in and the doctor said, your calcium is low, no calcium. I'm like, what? So back to these medical terminologies that I don't really know about, but I could explain it the best way the doctor explained it to me. He said, by my calcium being low, my electrolytes, because calcium have something to do with your electrolytes that pumps to your heart, was not pumping properly to my heart. Some electrolytes that runs or pumps to your heart was not working properly because my calcium was low or was none, which caused my heart to start beating fast, my chest to start hurting me, because it was starting to affect my heart. So all this time I've been working after the surgery, did not know my calcium fell low. Because I went and did my follow up, you know, all my blood works was good. She said my calcium looked good, pretty. She's like, yay, your calcium is pretty, so that means your parathyroid is working. Because right after the surgery, they will let you know that your parathyroid will slow down. It will not work as well, but it's supposed to start coming back up working normally if it was saved, if they had did the right thing, and, you know, if they did right and saved it. So the doctor told me, you know, your calcium level is low, and that's why this is going wrong. That's why and I explained to him, I said, this is at the emergency room, they don't know my history. I said, well, I recently was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. They removed my thyroid, but they told me they saved my parathyroid to produce my calcium. So I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out why my calcium level is dropping low. And they had to put me on drips, 2 bags of drips to bring up my calcium. That say they had to pump the drips real fast in me. And everything, my blood pressure went down when that came up. Everything was normal. My heart start beating normally. So I spent a night in the emergency room, and I came home the following day. And I went back to Anderson. I called MD Anderson. I was like, hey, something is not, you know, something is wrong, you know. So I went back in, and I'm like, something is going wrong, because there is no way my calcium is supposed to be this low. So I even start taking calcium pills, and this sucker is not big pills. I started taking calcium pills, and it was like, now at this time I don't have no energy. So when you guys see me out trying to live my best life, I'm just trying to make myself don't get depressed or fall. I just live. I could have the worst pain and nobody will know, because I put on this brave face. I think it's by, you know, my past and me growing up, putting on front, you know, and putting on a face. I could put on a face and I could have the worst pain in my life and you will not know. So I've been going through that, and I went back to Anderson, and they told me that they had to do some more blood works and, you know, see what's going on, what's causing my calcium level to low. And like, she was a little worried, is the cancer came back and it's now attacking my parathyroid. And so I've been going through tests all year. I've been going back and forth to the hospital. If you guys ever had thyroid cancer and is going through what I'm going through, please share it with me. Let me know, because I know a friend of mine saying she did hers, she's fine, she's 100% good, been 5 years and nothing. But for me, I'm dealing with stuff every day. I had to quit my job. It was becoming too much on me. I had to quit my job. I had to. The last emergency room call, because when I go to work, I'm working, I'm fine, all of a sudden I can feel my energy. It's like, I guess my mom would say, like, how when she have diabetes, how her sugar will fall, or her sugar goes up so high, and then she just feel like, that's what I feel. I feel like my energy drops, my blood pressure goes up, my bones, they start hurting me. Like right now, like I could feel like doing this joint right here hurts. Like it hurts. So they did all their tests and everything, and they see that, they said the cancer, whatever I know what it is. My thyroglobin. So my thyroglobin supposed to be start falling. There we go. So my thyroglobin supposed to start falling deeper into the yellow, but it stays right at the borderline between the green and the yellow. And it's supposed to be going this way, that way. Anyway, so my thyroglobin keeps not dropping. It stays right there, and they wanted it to fall more, but it's not. But it looks good, but it's not where they want it to be. They wanted it to fall a lot more further, but you know, so far it looks really good. So I gotta go back again December the 15th to do more blood works. I'll be doing blood works for a minute because my energy. So I went in the other day to do blood works, and they asked me, you know, how is your energy? I told them my energy is low. They saw that my energy was low. I told them I had to quit my job because I couldn't function. Like I can't, you know, I have no energy, no spirit, nothing. And she was like, Miss Peace, Miss Castillo. She's like, Miss Castillo, you will never be 100% again. I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. She said, you will never be 100% again. Because I told her, I love what I do. I love my job, you know. But I could still do hair. I could still stand up and do hair. I can't stand for a long time, but I could still stand. I still book my appointments. I don't book 7 people for the day no more. I book 2-3 people for the day and I'm good. So I could still do that. And she said, I'm going to increase your medication. So I was on Synthroid 200 micrograms. 200 micrograms. I was on Synthroid 200 micrograms. So she said, I'm going to increase your thyroid medication. You guys like my hair? I kind of crimped it, you know. So she said, you guys, I'm going to increase your medication. So you're going to be taking 2 pills instead of 1. But each pill is going to be 112 micrograms. So you're going to be taking, instead of 200 micrograms, you're going to be taking 224 micrograms. And it's the levothyroxine. Don't come for me. Levothyroxine or some shit. Yeah. But I gotta take 2 of this in the morning. And this is one thing I could say. If you are on thyroid medication, if you you're recently going through it and are feeling the same way I'm feeling, one of the main important thing to do is always take your medication at the exact time every day. And I think that's one of the things that messed me up a little bit, that had me all over the place, was because I wasn't taking it the way I should take it. Because the doctor was like, as long as you take it 4 hours after you eat and then an hour after you, and don't eat anything till an hour after, you're good. I'm like, okay. So I'd be like, okay, I didn't eat anything at 12 o'clock this afternoon, so I got to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could take my pills at 4 o'clock, and then after 4 o'clock, I can't eat anything till like 6 or to like 5:30. That was not the right thing to do. So I had to like sit, and me and the doctor, we sat down, we came up with this whole thing, how it's going to work for me, what's going to work, what's not to do to get my body back feeling normal. And we came up with a plan to take it at 7 o'clock every morning, because I used to work getting off of work at 6 or 5 o'clock, 6, and it wasn't working, because then I eat something at 2 o'clock in the at night. I eat at 2:30. On my 2:30 break, I'll have something to eat. So I can't, you know. So I take my pills. I set my alarm on my phone. I set alarm on Alexa. I set alarm at every corner of my room that I could set an alarm to wake me up every 7 o'clock on the dot, and I take my medication. And I start taking that 2 months now. I start doing that, taking at 7 o'clock every morning. And then they put me on vitamin D2 pills. So I take 1 of those per week. So I'm taking D2 pills and the thyroid pills. And those have been making me feel amazing, a lot better, as much as I could feel. I know I'm not gonna be 100% anymore, but where I'm at, I'm feeling good. My pain in my joints is a little less now, because I feel like that's had something to do with me keeping my medication at the right time. So the doctor is trying to say maybe that's why my calcium was falling, was because I wasn't taking my pills at the exact time every day. I know that. I never take pills before. So they say even when you're on blood pressure medication, you have to take your blood pressure medication at the exact time almost so it could be effective. And I did not know that. That's something I was, privy to. So I did not know that. But now that I know that now that I know that you more or likely have to take it. I mean, there's times, don't forget me wrong, there's times you're going to miss it. There's times you're going to forget. There's times you're going to oversleep, because when I'm drinking wine, baby, don't come for me for my wine, okay? When I'm drinking my wine and I have a long night, if I don't forget, the doctor says, as you wake up in the morning, as you wake up, whenever you wake up, take it. There will be days when you will forget. There will be days when you can't get up. But as you get up, take it. But try not to let that be a habit. But to end the video, as of today, they have not confirmed that my cancer is still there. I have to do one more test. But as of today, I'm still consider myself cancer free. Praying to God that there's nothing left there. There's nothing recurring. I'm praying, you know, and the doctor is giving me really good hope. And there's some doctors that give you very beautiful hope. So they gave me really high hopes that it's not there. And she said, as long as it stays there, it doesn't keep climbing up, that number, the thyroglobin, doesn't keep climbing up, we're good. So as long as it stays there, we okay. So I think this test next 2 weeks going to determine and confirm that it's no longer there, and I could keep going on in my best life, and I could say the cancer. And yeah, but if you guys want to share your story with me, let me know if you guys been going through, you know, stuff. How was your treatment? How was your recovery process? Because mine's been hell. Like literally been hell. Like I've been going back and forth to the doctor all the time. And it's been hell. It's been pure hell. So I'm hoping that December appointment here is going to be the last of my cancer treatment, and that will be it. I ain't got to deal with it no more. But I think whenever you have cancer, I don't think you're ever not going to ever go back to the doctor. If you're, you know, at least here in America, they will let you go every 6 months to get tests. They will get tests. And I guess as there's a certain time span, and as that time gets wider and wider and you're still being okay, they will expand it to maybe like a year, or maybe another 2 years you go back in for another result. But they, you know, stretch it out. But since mine is so young and still so fresh, I still have to go every 6 months. So, but as of today, 1 year later, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel that everybody was telling me about. It's like, you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, where is it? Because it's fucking so far away. But I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and I am grateful. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys that said a prayer for me, that reached out to me, that supported me, that however my video had affected you in any which way, because I know a lot of people was moved by my video and made them went and, you know, seek, you know, consultation for their thyroid, because thyroid is very common in women. Thyroid disease is common in females a lot, and you will be surprised of how many people that was around me that had thyroid problem that didn't know until I came out, until I got discovered, and then they start saying, but it doesn't have to be cancer. Thyroid problem does not always necessarily going to be that you have cancer. It doesn't have to be that. It could be you have hypothyroidism, low thyroidism. Makes some people can't gain weight, some people just can't lose weight. Those are thyroid problems. And you have thyroid disease, where it makes your eye bulge, and you see eye bulge, and you have the swelling in your neck, and all of a sudden you start having bulging eyes. Be mindful that that could be thyroid disease. It could be thyroid problem. It doesn't have to be cancer, but it could be thyroid disease that can be treated. Because I had a client of mine who had the bulging of her eyes. She had a thyroid disease and had bulging of her eye, and they were able to treat her eyes going back down by radiation. So these things are treatable. You don't have to live with it. And having anxiety is one of the biggest signs of thyroid problems. So don't sit and then having all this anxiety and then start running yourself crazy and thinking that something is wrong with you mentally when it's just, you know, physically something is wrong and you don't know, but it's causing you to think that it's mentally, and it's not. Because I thought I was having mental problem when I started having anxiety, because, you know, the symptoms. And before I forget, a lot of people was asking me, a lot of people reach out and ask me, a lot of people reach out to me and ask me, did your anxiety went away? And I can say 85% of it disappeared. I don't have anxiety on a daily basis anymore. I don't have anxiety, you know, for a long period of time anymore. I live normal life. I'm happy. I live normal. The only time I will feel a little bit of anxiety is when I get nervous. And I think that's just part of being natural. Being natural, nervous, you get anxiety for some people like me. But I never had like a huge, I think I had one huge panic of anxiety and it disappeared. I take my ashwagandha, you guys. If you don't know about this ashwagandha, you better go get it. Get your ashwagandha. Google it. Go on Instagram. Read up about it. If you ever feeling stressful, overwhelmed, you know, feeling like there's a load on you, take that ashwagandha. And I even take it when my blood pressure is high. When I feel my blood pressure is high, I take my ashwagandha. Because the doctor had put me on aspirin. After my calcium kept going low, he put me on aspirin. Because he was like, he didn't want me to start getting blood clots, which cause stroke. So I take my aspirin. And I take my ashwagandha. It makes my blood pressure, because it keeps me calm. So it doesn't make me stress. And it doesn't make you look crazy or act crazy or like want to sleep over the plate. No, it's a natural herbal remedy. Okay, it's not narcotics. It's over the counter. You can offer it up online. You can get it at Amazon. And take one, and you will feel amazing. I promise you, you will feel amazing. Your whole life will turn around. If you see people stressing out and going through things, recommend it to them. Give them one. Like, you know, take this pill. You will know it was probably save a life, because this person probably think about jumping through a window. Give them one. You know, it's not harmful. Ashwagandha is not harmful. You could do your research. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. Google it. You know, ask anybody about it and just do your thing. Yeah, that's it. So your girl, as of today, praise God, a year later, is still cancer free. She's cancer free. But it was a beautiful lesson. It was a lesson well thought of. It was a lesson well learned. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I'll be bringing up more videos. Thank you guys. I love you guys, and come back again and watch my videos. Subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about my channel. Let them know how your girl doing it, okay? Because she's doing it. She's doing it, and she's doing it, and she's doing it, and she's doing it. So until next time, you guys. Bye.